Hi, today we'll be discussing, first of all, colonias. What are they? A colonia is actually a place, it's a community that a lot of people with, I think, with low resources, mainly Hispanics, live in. They are basically a place where there's no running water, there's no sewage system, there's no even gas at some points. Names, I mean, the streets are not even registered like in the city roster, or even they don't even have names, so there's no address. As to my story, I know this is not something we need to put in here, but I used to live in a colonia, and I guess I never really saw it, what it really was until now that I was reading all about it. I mean, I basically, when I was small, I grew up in a colonia, and we did have water and electricity. The only thing we didn't have was sewer system, and we had dirt roads. So when it rained, it really got muddy, and there was puddles everywhere. And why do they exist? I mean, I think colonias exist because basically colonias are, like I said, this is where people of low-income people come and try to maybe have a house. Their dream is to have a house here in the United States, and they don't have all the resources. They have low-paying jobs. Many of these are migrants that are traveling from place to place, or sometimes they even come here and they just have very low-income jobs, and they're struggling to get a home for their family. And basically, it's something that they're trying to survive. So they build a house however they can. They could build it. Sometimes they were made out of like used pieces of woods. Sometimes, like in one of the videos, they were saying when the Forgotten Americas video, excuse me, by Daniel Solis. He's a director of Avanza. He said that basically what was happening is that people even put together like parts of a mobile home to put into the partitions of the house so they can make a house. And how are they marginalized? Well, actually, like I said, usually colonias are a place where people live and that are low income people. And these are not a priority of discussion in the top news. A lot of the I guess, major people like in Washington, I think they don't even know that people live like this. They live in a third world country. Here in the United States, children are trying to get ahead of their studies. They have very limited resources. Sometimes they have to go home. They might not have, good drinking water. Water's polluted. They end up getting sick. Or if their parents are migrants, they leave school early, and then they have to come back to start school late again. So they're very limited on what they can do and what they cannot do. On the Forgotten America's Voice for the Colonias by Jaime Shaheen, he also mentions a lot that these are people that are, like I said, forgotten they're not seen as top priority in anything or anything like that. The second question is this, we're talking about globalization. How does globalization capitalism contribute to health disparities and environmental injustice along the U.S.-Mexico border? This one, I guess, is something that, like in the video of the Maquilas, Carmen Duran, she's one of the main ladies there that's speaking on behalf of what she's going through. I mean, she works for a Maquila in Juarez. I mean, and I'm sorry, not Tijuana, in Tijuana. And basically, she works there not because she's very happy there. It's because it's the only resources that she could get for her and her 3 kids. She does mention to her that it's okay, the job is okay, but just the way they treat them, just basically how all the pollution is there at their homes, how, not at their homes, I'm sorry, at the Maquila, all the smells of the plastic burning and everything, like all their clothes gets impregnated into their clothes. And when they go home, they actually have to make sure that they don't try to get in contact with their children or try to wash their clothes separately from what their children's have. Basically, this is something that's very sad because the way they're living over there, the maquilas are coming into Mexico to, I guess they bring goods to help them make more money, because basically they're paying pennies, very little to these people. And after even, sometimes they might even go get a transfer to Asia, the maquilas, because basically there's more, they get to pay less for their to their employers there to manufacture the same thing they were doing in Mexico. And when they leave, sometimes they'll leave like pollutants, like they'll leave all the chemicals and stuff like that, which it's sad because a lot of these chemicals are going towards the colonias of these people that live close by the maquilas. All the pollution, the water, the sewer system goes into that water. It was sad, one of the parts what I was seeing with the electricity, they didn't have electricity. They would actually bring down wires, like extensions to go to their homes, and they were in the puddles where they would hear a lot of like sizzling where people would get electrocuted. So this is kind of sad because basically the pollution and everything is destroying all these communities. Plus the maquilas are really not there to help the people. They're really to make money for themselves. And basically that's a little bit about what I need to tell you about today. Thank you.